Hello, everybody. Welcome back as we continue uh, to go inside the world of biomolecules. We continue with our journey inside the world of biomolecules. And today we are going to do a very interesting topic, as you can see right on your screen, and that is the topic of proteins, right? So far, the macromolecules that we have covered are nucleic acids and carbohydrates. And today we intend to do proteins. Now, proteins are important from the aspect that everything structural in our body is protein. Right from the hair on the head to the nail on the toe, everything is made up of protein, right? So proteins, they form the architecture, the structure of the body, and that's why you don't find proteins contributing to the energy requirement of the body. So that is where carbohydrates are the major energy suppliers, and protein is the main structural part of the body. Fats are the reserve energy which will be required only in case of emergency or any kind of deficiency. Now, what are proteins and how do we study them? Right? Uh, let's start. So, proteins are the most abundant organic molecules of the living system. They form about 50% of the dry weight of the cell. In that context, it is the most abundant organic molecule, right? Otherwise, it would be carbohydrate. Most important for architecture and functioning of the cell, right? So all the hormones, enzymes, they are nothing but proteins. So they are required for the functioning of the cell. Now, proteins are different from carbohydrates, uh, obviously structurally, functionally, that goes without saying, right? But carbohydrates, fats, they all can be stored in the body. If you have excess of carbs, if you have excess of fats, they can be stored inside the body. But excess of protein cannot be stored. Whenever there is excess of protein in the body, it is broken down to its component, that is amino acids. It is processed by the liver, converted into urea and thrown outside the body. So you will never have excess of protein in the body. Now, the monomer of protein is an amino acid. So as we have done in all our previous discussions, we will start from the monomer and build up on that and go to the structure of protein. Okay. So proteins are polymers of amino acid. They are made up of. So amino acid is the monomer of the protein. Protein on complete hydrolysis will give amino acids. Okay. Complete breakdown mein protein will give ultimately amino acids. There are 20 standard amino acids which are repeatedly found. Now, see, the number of amino acids are far more than 20, right? The next chapter that we are going to do is excretion. There we'll be studying amino acids like ornithine, citrulline, right? Now, these are amino acids, also amino acids. But these amino acids do not take part in the formation of protein. Ab, the number of amino acids which take part in formation of protein are 20, right? So apart from the 20, also there are other amino acids, but there are 20 standard amino acids, right, across the living organism kingdoms, right? Be it animal, plant, microbe, right? कोई भी हो जिसमें भी protein synthesis होगा, it is going to be with the help of these 20 amino acids. I hope that point is clear. So 20 standard amino acids. We had made a mention of this when we had done mRNA का प्रोटीन सिंथेसिस वाला पार्ट. Collagen is the most abundant animal protein. You have studied about collagen in tissues. And Rubisco is the most abundant plant protein. Rubisco is an enzyme which you will study in photosynthesis. It stands for ribulose bisphosphate uh, carboxylase oxygenase. That means this is an enzyme which has a dual capacity. It can take in oxygen also, it can take in carbon dioxide also, right? तो जब कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड अंदर जाता है तो फोटोसिंथेसिस होता है, जब ऑक्सीजन अंदर जाता है तो फोटो रेस्पिरेशन होता है, राइट? सो दैट ऑल यूल टॉक अबाउट व्हेन यू डू फोटोसिंथेसिस का चैप्टर, ठीक है? बट राइट नाउ रुबिस्को इज एन एंजाइम, राइट नाउ. सो द मोस्ट अबंडेंट प्लांट प्रोटीन इज रुबिस्को. Protein synthesis is controlled by DNA, right? We've already talked about that. DNA is the blueprint of the entire body. It has got all the information, right? And one section of DNA which has knowledge of one protein, I told you it's called as a gene. So DNA will pass that message to the mRNA transcription, and mRNA will translate that information into a protein which we call it as translation. So protein synthesis में दो steps होते हैं, transcription and translation. Two steps in protein synthesis, but completely under the control of DNA. Okay. Now going on to the structure of the amino acid. Amino acids are a group of organic compounds having two functional groups, right? Carbohydrate में we said it is either aldehydes or monosaccharide, right? Now, obviously, either aldehydes or ketones. But here we're talking about two functional groups, and both of them attached to the same central carbon. This carbon is known as the alpha carbon, right? Now, we won't dwell much here because ये पूरा chemistry वाला issue है, तो उसमें हम लोग नहीं जाएंगे, right? This is called as an alpha carbon. Hence, the amino acids are called as alpha amino acids. Now, if you can see, one of the groups here is a amino group. It's a basic group, NH2. Whereas the other group here is a carboxylic acid group. Acidic hai, right? The third valency is satisfied by hydrogen, and the fourth valency of the carbon we have written as an R. Now, what is R here is a variable. Now, this R can keep on changing, and as a result, the amino acid ka nature keeps on changing. The type of amino acid, 20 types, hai na? So the R is the variable. So you will have a amino group, you will have a carboxyl group, you are going to have hydrogen, and additionally you're going to have a variable, right? We're going to identify what this R can be. See, क्या लिखा है देखो यहाँ पे, R can be H in case of glycine. मतलब यहाँ पे अगर मैंने H डाल दिया तो this amino acid will become glycine. The R can be CH3 in case of alanine. यहाँ पे R पे CH3 मिथाइल डाल दिया तो this will be alanine. It will be hydroxymethyl, right? ना OH डाल दिया CH3OH तो ये serine हो जाएगा. So this R can be a variable, right? So we've got 4 valencies of carbon, 4 carbon bonds, right now. So एक amino group के लिए, एक carboxyl group के लिए, एक H के लिए और एक R, right? That's why amino acids are also known as substituted methanes, because methane का ही substitution हो रहा है. Okay. It could be a hydrocarbon chain or a cyclic group also, right? आगे we will learn what are these 7 groups of amino acids. All amino acids contain carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen, but some of them additionally contain sulfur also, right? So one more additional group ho gaya. See, if you have an amino acid, let's say you have one NH2 group and one carboxyl group, right? One basic group and one acidic group. Such an amino acid will be neutral. So you'll say this is a neutral amino acid. Now, let's say in another amino acid, एक NH2 ग्रुप एक्स्ट्रा है, अमाइनो ग्रुप एक्स्ट्रा है, राइट? यानी बेसिक नेचर उसका ज्यादा है. सो दीज आर बेसिक अमाइनो एसिड्स. रिवर्सली, कन्वर्सली, कार्बोक्सिल ग्रुप एक्स्ट्रा है, So that becomes an acidic amino acid. अभी देखो अभी right now only I told you three types of amino acids: neutral, basic amino acids, acidic amino acids. Tell you the fourth one, sulfur containing amino acids. Tell you the fifth one, hydroxymethyl OH containing amino acids. पांच ग्रुप तो मैंने यही बता दिए, दो एक्स्ट्रा बचे खाली. Okay. So the physical properties and chemical properties, they are due to the amino, carboxyl and R functional groups, right? They determine the physical and chemical properties of amino acids. ये रहा देखो, your 7 groups of amino acids. Look at this, neutral amino acids. So if I see one NH2, one carboxyl, one NH2, one carboxyl, alanine and glycine, both are neutral amino acids, right? You have to pay a little attention here. You have to know the groups of these amino acids. Acidic mein, let me check. Oh yes, I see two carboxyls here. I see two carboxyls here, but only one NH2. That makes an acidic. Basic mein, do I see two NH2 groups here, but only one carboxyl group. So it's a basic amino acid. Look at the alcoholic. I have a NH2, I have a carboxyl, but I have a OH group here. It is serine. We've learned, na, if the R was a hydroxymethyl, ये hydroxy group, OH group, so it becomes a alcoholic amino acid. Right? ये रहा देखो sulfur. Some of them additionally contain sulfur. Can I find sulfur? ये NH2 और COH तो है अपनी जगह पे. I have a sulfur here. Sorry. Right? So neutral 1, acidic 2, basic 3, alcoholic 4, sulfur 5. That leaves us with 2. If they have a nitrogen in the ring structure, I have a nitrogen in the ring structure here now, right? So this becomes a heterocyclic amino acid like proline. Aromatic, the cyclic structure with a straight side chain bearing carboxylic and amino group. Do I have a carboxyl? Yes. And an amino group? Yes. With a ring structure now. Phenylalanine is an aromatic amino acid. So 7 groups of, this is one way of classifying amino acids on the basis of their structure. So either could have a neutral amino acid or an acidic amino acid or a basic amino acid, sulfur containing, OH containing, hydroxyl group containing, right? Or you could have a heterocyclic amino acid, or you can have an aromatic amino acid. These are 7 groups of amino acids. For your benefit, I am giving this table, which you can, copy it and make note of it. Also, I think जो मेरे सर में छुप गया वो ट्रिप्टोफैन है, ऊपर टायरोसिन है. Okay. ठीक है. सो देखो न्यूट्रल आ गया, एसिडिक आ गया, बेसिक आ गया, सल्फर कंटेनिंग, अल्कोहलिक, अरोमेटिक एंड हेटेरोसाइक्लिक. द रेलेवेंट एग्जांपल्स हैव बीन प्रेजेंट हियर. ठीक है. Clear, please, everybody? Okay. So this is about what is amino acid, how are they classified. See, there are other ways of classification of amino acids also. See, there are certain amino acids which are present in the body. There are certain amino acids which have to be taken via diet. These are essential amino acids. So on the basis of dietary availability or can be made in the body, you classify amino acids as essential and non-essential. All that classification will come in chemistry का biomolecule chapter 12 standard में. Okay. Taking it ahead now. Okay. ये देखो ये structure wise मैंने आपको दे दिया है, same thing but with the help of structure. The first diagram के जैसा ही है ये. Now amino acid is amphoteric in nature. It can react with both acids and bases depending on the pH of the solution that it is present in. This particular property of amino acids, right? It's the ionizable nature of NH3 and COH. Right? The ionizable nature, they can lose an electron, accept it. The fully ionized species is known as the Zwitter ion. Now, if you look at this entire diagram, you will find यहाँ पर हाइड्रोजन एक्सेप्ट हुआ है तो ये NH3 प्लस हो गया है, यहाँ से ऑक्सीजन हाइड्रोजन चला गया है तो it is COO minus. That means both the sides have been ionized. But if you look and the diagram A and diagram C, you will find only the polarity at one end. But this B diagram is bipolar in nature. It is, ionizable at both the ends. This kind is known as a Zwitter ion, right? Zwitter in German means a hermaphrodite, bi, two, right? When they're bisexual, we say hermaphrodite. So it is having the capacity of, ionizing both the ends. Hence, this is a Zwitter ion. Right? Therefore, at physiological pH, an amino acid is existing as a dipolar ion. So this is your dipolar ion, which is called as a Zwitter ion. So a Zwitter ion is a compound that has a negative charge on one atom. So here's your negative charge and a positive on the non-adjacent. देखो यहाँ पर ये positive हो जाएगा relevantly. Okay. So hence in solutions of different pH, the structure of amino acid will change accordingly. Right? So this is Zwitter ion. Now exam में, right? Generally a diagram comes and they ask you out of A, B and C, which of the following is a Zwitter ion? Right? I have not seen any other question apart from this type coming from Zwitter ion. Now from a monomer, let's move to formation of more than one. What will happen when two amino acids come together? Right? Let's have a look. This is glycine. This is glycine. Everybody please pay attention. Now, this is a carboxyl group, COOH. This is an NH2. Again, we have a carboxyl and we have a NH2. So, do we see that when two amino acids are next to each other, they will face each other through the opposite ends. ये amino group वाला end है, ये carboxyl वाला end है. And the water, यार यहाँ से H गया, यहाँ से OH गया. So water gets removed. So what remains is CONH. This CONH bond is called as a peptide bond, right? मोनोसैकेराइड के बीच में ग्लाइकोसाइडिक बॉन्ड, लेकिन अमाइनो एसिड के बीच में पेप्टाइड बॉन्ड. दैट्स व्हाई प्रोटीन्स आर कॉल्ड एज पॉलीपेप्टाइड्स, राइट? हाउ डू यू से डीएनए इज अ polynucleotide, isn't it? Starch is a polysaccharide. So similarly, proteins are polypeptides made up of multiple amino acids. Okay, so this CONH bond is nothing but a peptide bond. Okay, so in this diagram, we see two amino acids joined by one peptide bond. So when we have two amino acids joined by one peptide bond, this entire structure is known as a dipeptide, right? Please do not make the biggest mistake that dipeptide मतलब दो peptide bond होना चाहिए. नहीं. If you are saying dipeptide, what you are implying is two amino acids joined by a peptide bond. This structure is called as a dipeptide, right? Chain having two amino acids linked by a peptide bond is called as a dipeptide. Now look at the statement after this. The sequence of amino acid present in a polypeptide is specific for a particular protein. Hold on. Right now, this needs to be understood properly. Let's say, for example, we have a protein which is made up of 5 amino acids. Right? Listen to this very carefully, please. Right? 5 amino acids, hypothetically, एकदम 5 amino acid है उसके अंदर. Let's say amino acid number 16, 14, 8, 13, 1, for example. If you are just to remember the numbers of the amino acid. तो ये 5 कंबाइन करके प्रोटीन बनता है. Now, even if the position of a amino acid is interchanged, only one position, ये 13 है, ये 1 है, right? So मैं 1 को 13 की जगह पे लेके आता हूं, 13 को 1 की जगह पे लेके आता हूं. सिर्फ मैंने 2 अमाइनो एसिड्स को इंटरचेंज किया है. What will happen is the nature of the protein will change. The nature of the protein will change. Read it again. The sequence of amino acids, the sequence in which amino acids are arranged, present in a poly is specific for a particular protein. So you can't have the same sequence for 2 proteins. So every protein will have a specific sequence of amino acid. Right? Please remember this. When you do protein synthesis in genetics, this will be very useful to you. So now we know what are proteins, we know what are amino acids, we know what is classification of amino acids, and what happens when 2 amino acids come together. They result in formation of a peptide bond. Okay, let's see. आगे क्या है? अच्छा, अभी है structure. See, again, our attempt is to completely cover the topic from all the sides and not just restrict ourselves to NCERT. Reading पूरा NCERT. Reading पूरा NCERT. Reading we are not going to compromise anywhere. Right now? Reading पूरा NCERT. लेकिन जो समझना है topic, right now, तो we have to understand its entirety. Okay, so now structure of protein. The sequence of amino acid, positional information, right now, कौन position number 1 पे है, 2 पे है, 3 पे है, 4 पे है, and so on, right, is called as the primary structure. मतलब straight chain amino acid का वो उसका primary structure है, right? So a protein is imagined as a line. It's imagined as a line. The left end represented by the first amino acid. So the left end is represented by the first amino acid, and the right end represented by the last amino acid. Now we studied, ये देखो यहाँ पर, हाँ ये देखो यहाँ पर, right? So imagine this to be the first, बीच में बहुत सारे amino acid है और ये last है, right? So अगर ये first है तो ये कार्बोक्सिल ग्रुप यहाँ पे रहेगा, और ये लास्ट है तो यहाँ पर NH2 रहेगा. So this is called as the C terminal of the protein, and this is called as the N terminal of the protein, right? So first amino acid is called as the N terminal, the last amino acid is called as the C terminal of the amino. A protein thread does not exist throughout as an extended rigid rod. It's not like very straight. Ekdam sub proteins are straight structures only, right? The thread, the straight thread is folded in the form of a helix. Like DNA का structure कैसे दिखता है? Helical structure है. Only some portions of the protein thread are arranged in the form of a helix. And in proteins, only right-handed helices are formed. Right now, they turn coil from the right side. Other regions of the protein thread are folded into other forms. अब जब प्रोटीन का फोल्डिंग होगा, राइट, सो जो स्ट्रक्चर चेंज होगा ना, उसको हम लोग बोलेंगे सेकेंडरी स्ट्रक्चर. अब उसको बोलेंगे सेकेंडरी स्ट्रक्चर. ये देखो यहां पर, दिस इज अ डायग्राम फ्रॉम द एनसीईआरटी. स्ट्रेट है ये, अमाइनो एसिड स्ट्रेट है, तो उसको हम लोग क्या बोलेंगे? प्राइमरी. नाउ प्राइमरी का जब फोल्डिंग होगा, कैन यू सी दिस हेलिकल फोल्डिंग ना? Can I see folding of 2 chains joined by structures? अब these foldings result into formation of secondary proteins, right? Secondary structure of the protein. Now, this secondary folding, right, either can be a alpha helix, right, जहां पे बॉन्ड जो है आपस के अमाइनो एसिड्स के बीच में होगा, or you can have a beta pleated sheet where you can have 2 chains and उन दोनों के बीच में हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड्स रहेंगे. So either you can have a alpha helix or a beta pleated sheet. Now this is a diagram which they have added recently, right? Now last year they have added in the NCERT. Before that it was absent, it was not there, right? अब इसका और एक फोल्डिंग है, सेकेंडरी और एक बार फोल्ड होगा. अब सेकेंडरी और एक बार फोल्ड होगा तो अब क्या बनेगा? अब बनेगा टर्शरी स्ट्रक्चर। अब एक 3 डाइमेंशनल स्ट्रक्चर बनेगा, राइट? व्हेन यू fold and crumple a piece of paper. Paper जब रहता है तो straight रहता है. But when you crumple it, make it in a ball-like structure, it becomes a 3D structure. So now this protein is now becoming a 3D structure, a 3-dimensional structure. This is nothing but the tertiary protein, tertiary structure. And tertiary structure is the one which is required for biological activities of protein. Biological activities of protein. Right, whatever enzyme form में जब भी protein act करेगा, so it is through the means of this tertiary structure. When we come to enzymes, I'll explain you what is active site and how the substrate fits into the active site. Right, so where is that substrate attaching to which kind of a structure, primary, secondary or a tertiary? A tertiary structure. ठीक है? अब the fourth stage, पहला stage क्या है? Primary, फिर secondary, फिर टर्शरी। अब जब तक हम लोग टर्शरी की बात करें ना, वी आर रेस्ट्रिक्टिंग टू वन चेन ऑफ प्रोटीन्स, वन चेन ऑफ अमाइनो एसिड, ओनली वन चेन। नाउ इट कुड बी पॉसिबल दैट अ प्रोटीन कैन हैव मोर देन वन पॉलीपेप्टाइड चेन, लाइक हीमोग्लोबिन, वेरी क्लासिकल एग्जांपल, राइट? हीमोग्लोबिन हैज गॉट 4 चेन्स, 2 alpha chains and 2 beta chains, 2 alpha and 2 beta. And these 4 come together as one unit, which is called as a quaternary protein. It is called as a quaternary protein. So structurally, proteins can be primary, secondary, tertiary or quaternary. Straight line है तो primary. Folding हो गया in an alpha helix or a beta pleated sheet, secondary. फर्दर फोल्डिंग 3 डाइमेंशनल स्ट्रक्चर हो गया तो टर्शरी, बायोलॉजिकल एक्टिविटीज के लिए टर्शरी. मोर देन वन पॉलीपेप्टाइड, देन इट बिकम्स क्वाटर्नरी, देन इट बिकम्स क्वाटर्नरी. ठीक है, यहां पर भी हीमोग्लोबिन का डिस्क्रिप्शन दिया हुआ है. ओके, ओ आई हैव वन मोर डायग्राम फॉर यू. प्राइमरी, कैन यू सी द चेन, ऑल अमाइनो एसिड का चेन ओनली. सेकेंडरी में अल्फा हेलिक्स, बीटा प्लीटेड शीट. Tertiary 3-dimensional structure. Quaternary, can I see the light blue chain and the dark blue chain? So more than one polypeptide, right, is quaternary. So structurally you have primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary. Now when there is coiling of this amino acid का chain, we told that amino acids are of different types, right? 7 groups of amino acids, right? अब जब folding होगा, जब फोल्ड होगा तो आमने सामने अमाइनो एसिड आएंगे ना. यू कांट डिटरमाइन कौन सा अमाइनो एसिड सामने आएगा. सो यू कांट हैव अ स्टैंडर्ड बॉन्ड विच विल बाइंड, क्योंकि जब फोल्ड होगा तो फोल्डेड स्ट्रक्चर फोल्डेड कैसे रहेगा, राइट ना? आई कांट, सो दैट इट विल ओपन अप ना. अनलेस एंड अनटिल व्हेन आई फोल्ड अ स्ट्रक्चर, आई होल्ड इट विद समथिंग. So when a structure folds in a protein, you are having bonds which hold the folded structure together, right? And it depends upon आमने सामने कौन सा प्रोटीन है, कौन सा अमाइनो एसिड है, right? So there are 5 types of bonds which are possible, right? Now a lot about these bonds will be talked about in chemistry. I'm just informing you what are these 5 types of bonds, right? We have a hydrogen bond, we have a hydrophobic bond, a covalent bond, an ionic bond, and a bond which is called as van der Waals interaction. Van der Waals interaction. These are 5 types of bonds which are possible at the time of a polypeptide, folding of a protein chain. Right? Primary में यानी simple जो folding होता है तो उसमें most of the time sorry, we have this disulfide bond. 2 सल्फर दिख रहा है अपने यहाँ पे, उसको disulfide bond बोलते हैं. Most of the time you have this disulfide bond. Okay, so these are types of bonds available. Last topic for proteins is classification. How are proteins classified? Right now, this topic has been entirely taken from the government textbook. पूरा का पूरा government textbook से लिया हुआ है. ठीक है? So proteins can either be simple, conjugated, or derived. Let's see what are simple proteins. I think एक मिनट, okay. Simple proteins on hydrolysis will give only amino acids, right? और कुछ नहीं मिलेगा, यानी ये सिर्फ अमीनो एसिड से ही बना हुआ है. Like histones of nucleoproteins, globular molecules of histones, albumins, globulins, egg albumin, serum albumin, pulses में जो legumulin है, they are all very simple by nature, right? Now, conjugated is what is important for us to understand. What are conjugated proteins? See, conjugation means coming together. Right? When two things come together, the fuse, we say it's conjugation. Okay? So, when you have a protein substance combining with a non-protein substance, right? उसको बोलते हैं conjugated protein. Right? We did hemoglobin. Hemoglobin में globin is the protein and heme is iron, which is non-protein. So we say the iron is the prosthetic group. Iron containing pigment heme is the prosthetic group. So we have combination of a non-protein prosthetic group with a protein structure. That is what is called as a conjugated proteins, right? Mucoproteins, lipoproteins, glycoproteins, right now? So all these are in combination with protein. Glycogen यानी carbohydrate protein का combination, lipid combination with lipoprotein. All these are nothing but conjugated proteins. And lastly, we have derived proteins. They are not found in nature. जब simple और conjugated को हम लोग hydrolyze करते हैं, तोड़ते हैं, तो हमको ये derived protein मिलता है, right? If you have heard of something called as peptones protein, right? Those are nothing but derived proteins. So proteins on classification, we have simple proteins, nothing but amino acid, conjugated proteins, protein plus non-protein structure, and third are derived proteins, derived from the simple and conjugated. Okay. For your benefit, I am also leaving this diagram with helps in the classification, right? So this by and large covers the entire topic of proteins, right? I would request you to read the amino acid part from the NCERT, right? फिर पेप्टाइड बॉन्ड, वो टाइप्स ऑफ बॉन्ड्स में पेप्टाइड बॉन्ड का मेंशन है वहां पर, and last में we have proteins का description, right? So these three parts please go through the PDF thing also, and try and whatever doubts are there, you can always present them in the doubt solving session, right? So that will be it, and next time we'll try and cover lipids, right? Thank you all. Thank you so much.